Week 6 matchup for you here between the Toronto Huskies and the Minnesota Vikings. Here's Newton. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 18 yards on the pickup there. And that enables them to also pick up the first. Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And here's the offense today that hopes to get off to a strong start. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Here's Newton now on 2nd down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And that's how you get started and open up a game. Really well-blocked play. Picked up a nice chunk of yardage. And if you're the offensive line, that's exactly what you've talked about all week long in your meetings. Establish the line of scrimmage and take control. And they gave their running back plenty of room to rumble.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And a look at the Vikings defensive unit.
Linval Joseph is in a hurry to get his name mentioned as one of the top defensive tackles in the game. I think he's accomplishing his goal.
Here we go with 2nd and 7. Play action. It's Newton. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. They come out here in the eye. They'll come out throwing here. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They bring a man off the corner that time, and he gets home for a loss of 6.
Well, when defensive coordinators game plan to put pressure on a quarterback, they often want to use blindside rushes, and that's exactly what they did there. The quarterback gets to him and drops him.
And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Okay, Charles, the Vikings offensive starters, a former Ole Miss Rebel is a guy to watch, and that's Laquan Treadwell.
No doubt about it, and when you look at his speed, forget it. All right, just throw out that time stuff. Watch his play speed. He plays the game really fast and big and aggressively. They want to call him Megaquan. If he plays to that, he'll really help this Vikings team.
Now on 3rd and long, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Taken from just outside the 30. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. It looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before. I
thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better. You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own... base and break a tackle along the way.
They'll run it here with Bernard. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
They come out here in the eye. To throw on second down is Newton. And this will be caught at the 30. Give him 30 yards there. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
Newton on first down. Brought in left side by Snead. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
On second down, here's Newton. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Trying to get it to Willie Snead there. And it's 3rd down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. 3rd and long. It's Newton. Can't find it. He lost the football. It's out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front 7. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now out comes Minnesota. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. what do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That, too.
He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second down. And let's look defensively at the starters.
Desmond Trufant has made a great reputation in a short amount of time in the NFL. A lockdown corner that most teams don't attempt to try.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. They'll set up a throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. The corner blitz pays off there as they sack him for a loss of 5. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
They'll drop the throw, and it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. He'll come out in the pistol. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's second down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. 3rd and 11. And some extra depth in the secondary here. They're in the dime. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And it's taken in at the 9. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And here now the offense heading back out there. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
It's a gain of 24 that time. And it's good enough for a first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Call it a gain of 5, and it'll make it a second down. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Here's Newton now on second down. Caught right side, it's Snead. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. A sizable gain there, 9 yards as they get it back to a 3rd and 5.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Now it's Newton here off the bootleg. They'll roll him out right. Wide open receiver complete. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They'll come out in the pistol. They go play action here on 1st down. He'll buy some time right. And it's caught. Touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. So he scrambled right, but was able to look back toward the middle of the end zone to find the target.
As you know in this game, sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules because we all know most guys throwing the football are taught never throw back into the middle of the field on a scramble. He did it and got away with it for a touchdown.
Instinct sometimes, right? They just take over.
Instinct and vision. Sometimes you just see people who are open. You're able to get it to them.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. Hey, listen, there's going to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
They come up in an offset eye. He'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 13 on the pickup there. And it'll give the Vikings a 1st down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Ten yards still left on 2nd down.
Detroit! All right, now, look at 56. Look at 56 now. Green, over.
He'll drop to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. And now back out comes the offense. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. They'll start on the ground here with Bernard. scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
They come up in an offset eye. Now a handoff here to his running back. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. Well, they've gone backwards so far in this series. 3rd and 13. Play action. It's Newton. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. Oh, the hurdle! And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. And now out comes Minnesota. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. They go back to the air here after the INT. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. And really just a heck of a catch. That's a really good receiver making a nice play.
And against a really good defensive back. Right there together, and over the top, the receiver wins the battle.
Here we go. Blue, landing. Black 99, Philly, here we go. All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, they decided to air it out a little bit on that play, take a shot downfield, but the coverage was really nice. Able to get a hand in and tip it away.
Here we go now. Green.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Backing up. His throw incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look. 6 DBs.
Leopard. Set. 319. Over.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
And that was a nice catch, and if the goal was to get into field goal range, it certainly appears that they accomplished that.
Well, and sometimes that's what you dial up in these situations, right, when you want 3?
Well, if the goal was to get into field goal territory, even though it'll be a long attempt, I think they accomplished that.
And sometimes you have plays for that. It's not always a first down when you want 3. get a little bit closer, make it an easier shot.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to concede to the defense, and they know what you're trying to get done, and to try and get any more than that is almost folly. Take what you can get, maybe have an opportunity to put 3 points on the board.
Looking for his running back, and he's got it. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Red zone opportunity.
Hey, we gotta get this stop.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And this one is right through. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
All right, now, let's get this in. Green, 39.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Here we go.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Second down following the run.
Go! Set! Green, 39! Green, 39! 55's Mike. Detroit!
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. So the offense dealing with a 3rd and 6.
All right, here we go. Boom, landing. Gun. No. Check. Patriot.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. The 12 yards that time and picking up the first.
They were full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. A gain of 3, second down. So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
You got to give some credit there, able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. He can't put, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again. And it's no good. Oh, he misses the extra point, and our score stays right where it is. So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. Now a carry for Bernard. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Again, here's Bernard. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4... you got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage, and that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
On the taunts, Bernard. And he is going to lose yardage here. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
Obviously, the offense thought they had something going by trying to go wide on a short yardage play. But how about the defense expecting something in the middle and still able to adjust and sprint to the edge and make the play?
And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. That'll go down as just a 20-yard punt. And it'll be Viking football here as they take possession. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green, 39.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. It's a gain of 5, and that's going to make it third down and less than a yard. So completion on second down, that brings up third.
All right, now, Leopard.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
Now back nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Back to throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Shift together here from the D-line. They come up in an offset eye. Now a play fake here on first down. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. They'll get 23 yards there. And it'll be first down Vikings. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's. And that's exactly what they did there.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
They'll drop to throw. Escaping the pressure right. It'll be a gain of 11, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Set.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. Just a gain of a yard, but it's going to set him up with a 1st and goal. Back now at beautiful new U.S. Bank Stadium. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set.
Watch it now, Barney. Now let's go.
And again this time to the tailback. Now he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. So now here are the Vikings faced with a big 2-point conversion attempt. He'll drop to throw, finding time. Now he's forced out left. And he will get into the end zone for 2. And this game now tied here in the 4th. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
On first down, Newton. Caught by Snead over the middle. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker. One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play, and guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Newton now to throw. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now fourth down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Tie game, fourth quarter, and they're going for this thing on fourth down. On fourth down, Newton. And no, it's incomplete. Marvin Lewis tries for it, but comes up empty. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They've got to make a few additional changes along the way, because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out. Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And they'll run it here. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it third down at 6.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be fourth down.
They dialed up the screen pass on third down, and for a second, it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
NFL teams last year, a little under 50% on fourth down conversions. This is a bit tougher. 4th and 4. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time. Doesn't work out. And as a result, possession switches hands. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to give a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Here's Newton now on second down. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third. 7 yards remaining here on third down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending the guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on fourth, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold
But he
up.
trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do.
Well, he got what he could there, just trying to move forward and gain a little bit of yardage and create some space. You know the pressure is going to be tough defensively.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here.
Now let's go. 3-19.
And on the ground they go with a running back. They'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a third down.
But it was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
9 yards to go. It's third down. Again, we'll see the pistol here.
No. Check. Patriot.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And he finds a man on a crossing route. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Let's go. All right, here we go. 3-19.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Carlos Dunlap in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. 10 yards to go on third. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
The Vikings send out their punter, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. .46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, nice move. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38.
When I watch plays like that, I give a lot of thanks that my DNA did not make me an offensive tackle, because that is a very difficult job to hold your block against a really good defensive end and hang on to it so your runner can get to the edge and do it without holding. I don't know that that's really possible for very many people.
Newton. And he will find his man on the outside. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Now it's Newton. Rolling to his right. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Khalil Mack in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And now they're in the hurry-up. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Now Newton. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Now this offense ready to take over again. They're set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team. And that first drive can dictate the whole thing, because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
As I watch that play unfold, stereotypes for being broken left and right. As a corner, you're often back there guarding against the pass. But how about that diagnosis and read and getting into the backfield and making a nice play and a tackle?
First throw in overtime for Newton. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for the touchdown. Well, you never know what you're going to expect when you come to the stadium to call a game. Sometimes you get good ones. Sometimes you get bad ones. Sometimes you get great ones. And that's what we had here. What an exciting finish on that last big play.
And I think that as we look at it, when you're talking about a great finish, which went along with a game that obviously was dramatic because we did get into overtime, what type of play calls do you have left? What have you not shown? Or what have you made an adjustment to what you've worked out all the way through that's going to give you the play we saw to win the game? Because I know everyone's thinking that was something that they just drew up. It might have been something they've been working on, and now they got the right matchup.
So for Toronto, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
Hard to admit that I used to draw portraiture in a human form, doodle of a two-headed unicorn. It was soothing, moving his arm in a fusion of man-made tools and amused from beyond. Even if it went beautifully wrong, it was tangible truth for a youth to refuse to belong. No name nuisance, stews in a bedroom, booze in a brand new cuneiform. Barely commune with the horde, got a whole grayscale ungluing his world. Might zone amp to the yap of the magpie, unseen hand dragging his graphite. Cross contour, little bit of backlight, black ink after a Bristol to baptize. You can imagine a rush that ensue when you get 3 dimensions stuffed in a 2. Then it's off to a school where it's all you get to, being trained and observed by a capable few. Back in New York by peeps and a dog in a 2-bedroom doing menial jobs. Plus rhyming and stealing and being a clod, distractions, freedom, a rod. I left some years of giving a light, I left some will to spirit away. I let my fears materialize, I let my skills deteriorate. Haunted by the thought of what I should have been, continuing a mission that was rooted in a 20-year affinity and rickety condition with an ID crisis. Snap on the front lawn, look up in the sky, it's shapes falling out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings, just to count your rings, just to count your rings. And now we're colors pouring out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings, just to count your rings, just to count your rings. Used to paint, hard to admit that I used to paint. Natural light on a human face, stenciled fire in his roommate's face. It was blooming addiction, a miss and a push and a pigment. Book like a tattooed pigskin look. Pinhead kids at a minute, drank Kool-Aid from a tube of acrylic. And I grew up in a linseed oil ever linen. Joy to the poison, voice to the resin. Capture a map of a gesture. Back up, add a little accurate fat to the figure. Redo that, move that inward. Zinc white lightning shoots from his fingers. Studio strewn with illusion and tinctures. Stay tuned for the spooky adventures. You can imagine the stars that align when a forearm starts foreshortening right. Or a torso hung on a warping spine of a portion. Reads as warm and alive. Routine day with a dirt